Folks, Andrew here, along with our big man, Frankie, and...
Oh my God.
One more time.
It's okay.
This is real life conversations.
It's
It's real life conversations.
He worked for BCW. You want to talk about unprofessional, please. He knows.
I'm still waiting for this scumbag to come fix it.
Yeah, you jerk. So now you're talking shit about two people.
Folks, Andrew here, and this is Conversations from GoPro Wrestling. I'm joined by Big Frank and our guest on the panel, the power couple of independent wrestling, the Green Machine, Mike Orlando, and his beautiful better half, Allie Recks. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, absolutely.
Now, Mike, first things first, the Green Machine, where did that come from?
Well, football, college football. I was always a character. I always wanted to use football as a platform to move to the next level of wrestling. And I wanted to stand out. And you watch a football game, which I never did, unfortunately. True story. Never watched football in my life. And you watch a football game, you have no idea what these people look like under the helmet. They're just wearing all blue or all green and whatever it is. Everybody has their own little thing. And you have no idea what these people look like. So when you see them out at a party somewhere, at a restaurant, you have no idea who they are unless you personally know them. So what I would do was everybody else wore blue and had blue on and everything, and I wore bright green. My cleats were green, my gloves were green, my socks were green, my armbands, my sleeves, my hair, everything you can imagine, green. And then I would act obnoxious on the field and purposely out of, not so much on the field, unsportsmanlike, but very on the sidelines, uppity. I was lucky to be a captain of my team, so I made sure I made big speeches all the time like an idiot. And I just rocked the green to be noticed. So when I walked around campus and I wore my green shorts and my green shirt and everything else, you were like, that's that green guy that's on the football team. So that's where that came from. So I created the Elite Athlete, and that was this character I played when I first debuted into wrestling, I guess you could say. And it was an extension of myself from college, and it was just like a college jock. And I wore all green and went down to the performance center, and they were like, I was like, oh, okay. And they were like, but the green's cool. So I got something out of it. And then
Well, you say that, WWE loves characters.
Well, see, I was young the first time I ever had a look. It was for Tough Enough. I was, I believe, this is 2014, and this had to be like, I had to be about 21, 22.
You auditioned for Tough Enough.
Yeah, the first Tough Enough season when they first came back, or no, 2 seasons after, the one where Patrick Clark was on it.
Ooh,
and
good season.
that was, I got all the way to the finals for that. Like I was on Raw and all that as like a
Right.
TV thing, not as a physical appearance. And basically got to the finish line and then helped them out with some extra stuff like for photos and whatnot, and that was it. And then that's where that ended. But the first time they saw me like that, they were like, this is really cool. You're really talented. You're very this, that. And I'm not just saying to put myself over. It's just they were like, this is good, but whatever this character is just stop. And I used to wear football pads to the ring and wrestle in football pads and have like my Nike Pro Combats on with custom gear stuff over it. And it was just like, you have a gimmick and it can only go so far. So I kind of took what worked out of that and translated it into myself, which is the machine. And now that I'm literally completely rebuilt on both sides of my body, that's where the machine comes from. So green worked. I'm a real life machine, and I feel like together I just can make sense without having to try. And I feel like that's where a gimmick becomes reality. And that's what WWE likes too. They want something that's real. They don't want a one-hit wonder. Like we have guys that can make it as a one-hit wonder like James Ellsworth, but I don't want to be a James Ellsworth. You know what I mean? I want to be a John Cena. I want to be a Randy Orton. And the only way you're going to get there is by finding out what works and whether you like it or not, excelling at it. And that's kind of where the machine came from. I never imagined it that way. Never thought I'd be wearing robot parts to the ring. But, hey, that's what happened. You know what I mean? And it's cool. It's different. I guess you could kind of say the same thing about your character evolution, because she literally comes home and we're sitting there and she's taking like Riddler, like things from Batman Forever, like when he leaves the crazy scrapbook stuff like for Batman to read and like leaves the place. That's what she's doing. She's like cutting out the pants from this magazine and putting it on like a picture from this one and gluing it because she can't draw. So she's gluing these pieces together and she's like, look, I made this and it looks like a legit piece of work. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. You should sell that, A. And B, let's get that gear made. So you're kind of going through that same evolution right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to switch stuff up.
You're learning. You're learning.
I'm getting there.
I mean, in the matches you're having, Allie, right now, you've had a plethora of like opponents for the female. I mean, wrestled Emma, I believe, right?
Yes, I did.
What was that like?
Oh, that was awesome. She was like the first name that I got to really work with one-on-one in the ring. So for like me, that was like a crazy experience. I don't know, it was awesome.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Because Mike is a great talker, but you seem like you're still in your shell. Mike, are you going to give her a promo class? What's going on?
Yeah, if you hang out with us long enough, just sit in the car, you'll hear her go promo style all over me in the car for 20 minutes because she'll just be like, I can't stand when you this, and I don't know about that. She cuts a great one when she goes into those promos. But man, she's very shy at first. But when the bell rings, she totally goes into who Allie Recks is. When she steps outside the ring and she gets into
the promo, the red lights.
I guess you could say not spotlight. That's when she completely is like, she's very humble and it helps her.
Where does that hesitation come from, Allie? Like for your promos, the wrestling, everybody knows.
Hesitation?
Like, yeah.
I don't know. Literally, I just get nervous.
But it's not a confidence thing because you seem to have confidence in the ring.
Yeah, I just don't think it's that. I have like anxiety, so sometimes I get like nervous, but.
Yeah, but
no big
I feel
deal.
like you've gotten a lot better with that.
Yeah.
Much better. Yeah, because now, when we first met, and I've known her for years, even before we started dating, she would go into things where she didn't know how to work both styles if she went to a new show. And they're like, hey, we need a heel. She'd be like, well, I didn't bring one. You know? So now she's very confident where she walks, where it's like, oh, what are they going to need tonight? You know, so she kind of just works with that, and that comes over time too. I've seen her cut great promos, and I've seen her cut not so bad promos, but not as great as what she could do. And the only difference between the two is kind of where that character evolution comes in, and it's kind of where she's at now, where I've seen the best promo work out of her because she knows who she is, what's going on, how to get it rocking and rolling. About a year ago, it's like, hey, who are you? And she's just like, Allie. Like, okay, great, cool. You know, where's your, what's your brand? What, you know, if you had to describe yourself to me, what are you? I do this. It's like, okay, you know, oh, what do you do in the ring? Oh, I do a DDT if you're cool with it. It's like, okay, now a little bit fast forward, she's talking to Emma, and I'm overhearing conversations back and forth with her, and it's like, okay, well, we could do this, and I can do this, and you could do this, and you could see Emma, who at the time was new to independent wrestling, was like listening to it because that's not WWE style.
Yeah.
You know, but all excited, I think you'll back up to try it.
Yeah.
Like, she was very like, yeah,
100%.
let's do that. And it was cool to be like, now, like, I remember having that same conversation with you a year ago that you're having with someone that's here, and you're having not like a teaching at all, it's just a confidence level. It's like you put yourself with that person. So she doesn't give herself enough credit, I feel like. You're so humble. Like, you know what I mean? Just be cocky, you know? It works.
Yeah.
Maybe you could try
Listen,
being like the girlfriend personality. Like if you're going to yell at him in the car, maybe you feel comfortable with him. Maybe you just have to get more comfortable with other people around.
Truth. Yell at everybody.
Start yelling.
Whatever, this room is full with Allies. His Allie beats him, and I'm assuming you
fact.
get beaten at
Oh,
home
yeah.
too, Mike.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. She loves that I'm on
Just
one
got to practice
leg,
on
too.
somebody, right?
I'm on one leg, and she'll just come over and...
Wow.
How did you guys meet?
So,
Oh, wrestling. We trained together at ECPW in Parsippany. Is that where it was? In,
like something.
Lake Hiawatha.
Hiawatha. Yeah, over there.
So we met probably like 5 years ago. How long have you been wrestling? 4 years?
4.5, yeah.
So I met her
Like
5 years ago.
ago,
She
yeah.
was a trainee before she actually trained too. She would come to the shows, and I was working on those. And then I helped her, wrestle, get into wrestling, and we started just as friends for the longest time. And now we're enemies, and it works out great.
Let's talk about your time as a tag team wrestler, Mike. I mean, John Gabor
Graber.
and
He's been-
Inked and Awesome. Did you
Yeah.
enjoy working with him as a tag team?
That's so crazy. Inked it awesome. Like I don't even remember. Like I really don't even remember doing.
We did some
that.
background info. Man.
Yeah,
we were
that's
ready for this.
so long ago. But like, it's cool you asked me because I like to think back sometimes and think about that stuff. Graber was the best wrestler I never seen do anything straight up. And that's the worst thing. I guess we're shooting a little bit there. But he disappeared off the face of the independent wrestling scene. I have no idea what he's up to in life. Last time I seen him was with her on the highway in the middle of Massachusetts. I kid you not. He lives in South Jersey. We're driving to a show in Massachusetts. He's driving with his feet out the window, just like this, and both feet in cruise control on the turnpike just driving. And I'm honking my horn and looking at him.
You think he's
and that was his
kidding.
last year, and I haven't seen him at this point for almost 5 years or 4 years at this point. And I'm honking my horn and looking at him, and all she does is roll down the window and go to the next lane and drive off in the middle of Massachusetts.
Wow.
Okay, so John was a great wrestler. I have no idea what happened to him. But life as a tag team wrestler with him, with Inked and Awesome, was awesome to try something, no pun intended, that I had no idea what I was doing. We had no clue what Inked and Awesome was. We had no idea what we were trying to pull off. All it was this like beach boy and him, and this like fat football player kid that had no idea what gear he was wearing. Like I was wearing red gear with like red tape and silver duct tape on this. I have no idea what I was doing. And I would go out there and I was Inked and he was awesome. So I would scream Inked and he would just scream awesome. And that's all we did and it worked. We got booked in Maine and all these different places. But make a long story short, singles wrestlers where I was able to figure out who I was, what I wanted to do in wrestling, how to move forward. Now I have a group, Federated, and it's basically the top wrestlers in the independent scene right now, all around the world. I mean, Florida, Tennessee, all these different places, Jersey, New York, Philly, that has all talent that is not really on TV full time. And we don't have to necessarily be a tag team. It's where if you want us to tag team, we know how to tag team with each other because we do the experience with each other, but we're more single, independent people. And I've been tagged with her before, I've been tagged with Mick Drake before, I've been tagged with Ray Fury before, and it just somehow works. So when you put me in a tag team with my own group like that, I have no issue, I love it. But like random tag teams and stuff, no more John Grabers in my life. But I mean, honestly, I love him. He was a great
John,
person.
tweet us at GoPro Wrestling. Tell us what happened, buddy.
Yeah, dude.
Want
Like,
the other
I would
side.
love to know. Do you ever watch any of this stuff? Like, hi, like Mike, good to see you. I mean, like, but honestly, shoot away. I would love to get him out here and tell some of his stories.
Now, you're active a lot on Twitter, I know, and you write a lot of quotes and things. One of the things that you wrote that stuck out to me that I wanted to ask you about was you tried your whole life to impress your family or your parents,
Right.
like after football.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit.
So it was actually my whole life, honestly. It just, my brother was a really good baseball player, really good. And I was the accident child. So everybody in my family's old. So my sister's almost 40. Okay, I'm 26. There's a big gap. So when my brother started getting really good at baseball, I was really little still. And I'm getting dragged everywhere for him. He was the big deal. Everything had to be him. Practice, games.
He's the older brother, or
Travel. What's that?
he's your older brother?
Yeah, older. And I was obviously I'm the youngest out of everybody. And I got dragged everywhere. And I had to watch him get like all this special treatment, all these different camps and whatnot. And I was a fat kid. I did not play sport. I did not care for sports. Okay, I didn't watch football my whole life. So I'm sitting there miserable. Then I got in high school, and my brother actually made it to the MLB for a really short time, or to the level of, he was on the farm teams and all this stuff. He was in the NXTs of MLB at the time. And he blew his entire knee out, tore his hip up, and his career ended. So he came home, and I kind of just saw the defeat and my parents there. So like when I became a football player, my whole life I wanted them to come to my stuff and do everything like they did to him with my stuff, and they never did. And it was like, okay, maybe if I do this, they'll come to the next thing. Or maybe if I get to this level, they'll come to that. And then, like, I made it all the way to regions my junior and senior year for wrestling and of high school. And, like, nobody came to that. Like, all my NFL stuff, nobody ever came to that. And it was always something that I've kind of held and, like, really bottled up. However, now, I mean, at this level, when I just blew my knee out, I've never seen my family be more supportive. Do you know what I mean? Because now it's like, I always thought I wasn't impressing them, but it was because I never stopped. I went right from the NFL stuff right back into pro wrestling. Was like, hey, sorry I'm not in Oakland anymore, but I'm going to wrestle in this gym down the road in front of 40 people. You got to come. My mom's like, are you kidding me? You just went from almost making millions of dollars as a football player. You're telling me you're going to give it up and go wrestle in front of 30 people at a gym, and you're telling me to come. And I'm a punk kid, and I'm just like, okay, walk out the door, don't even care. Now as an adult, my mom had backup insurance for me, all these things I had no idea about, like as far as like I was paying an insurance bill every month for like health insurance, and then she had an additional one.
What a great mom.
Oh my God, well, because what
100%.
happened was the original doctor said a year to a year and a half recovery, the one in Reading, Pennsylvania, when he looked at me. My leg was completely broken, like in half, like it looked like an L, like it wasn't connected whatsoever. The bone completely snapped, and my patella completely unraveled off the bone. So it was against Joey Janela too. It was going to be a great match, and so my insurance was going to cover this guy in Reading, Pennsylvania, in a year and a half, and my orthopedic that my father had was a number 1 or number 2. I don't remember the numbers statistically, but orthopedic in Manhattan, like the top one in Manhattan, top dog. Something I'm going to go in there is this old guy going to look at me or whatever. I walk in, this looks like Tim Tebow standing in the office. This guy's like all jacked up, like understands exactly what I'm going through. He looks at me, looks at my leg, goes, 6 months. And I was like, for real? He's like, guarantee it, 6 months. Okay, that surgery was, I think, almost $100,000 because of what needed to be done. Like $100,000 surgery that
After the insurance paid out of pocket?
Now, like that's what it would have been out of pocket.
Okay.
Meaning that was the only doctor that could fix me in 6 months. Yet this insurance plan that my mom had completely covered that surgery. And it was like, what? You know what I mean? So like now at the same time I say statements like that, but as I get older and now they take my wrestling as serious as they do, they see the performance center, they see that stuff, but they don't really participate with it. So now when all of a sudden I'm coming home on crutches and my leg is backwards, my dad was like, okay, something needs to be done. You know what I mean? I don't think he had any idea what to do, but he just sat there and was like, okay, what are we gonna do? So right there it was like, okay, you do kind of give a damn. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Well,
they
take it
changed
initially. They didn't approve of your wrestling career.
I don't think they took it seriously. I think they thought, well, you failed at football, and not so much failed.
Not
It's you
failed.
did what
Yeah,
you
I
were
wouldn't
going
say
to do.
failed.
Yeah, you did what you were going to do, and now you're just having fun. Now, like, explain to a 50-year-old or 60-year-old woman, like, hey, you got to see this big match. It's going to be great. You got to come, seriously. And there's a curtain in front of a door, and like some fat sloppy dude comes out to open the show, and he's like, hey, and it's like, oh, now your 50-year-old mother's like, oh my God, what is this? This guy's a wrestler? And if you're the only wrestler on the show, you come out and your mom was like, oh wow, that was great. Your match was outstanding, but those other people, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. So now when you start wrestling, you're doing student shows. To you, it's the biggest deal in the world. To your mother, at 23 years old, when you just had an NFL career in her hands, it's like, no, I'm never coming back to that again. There's no air conditioning in that building. There's no this, there's no that. I'm never doing it again. I have a sheet right here. Come out there and show me your gear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how she was, and I'm serious about it. So, and my dad just is a workaholic, and he still is to this day. So he just never, I guess, processed. He never processed what was going on, really, to, you know, oh, he's playing football? Good. What's he doing? You know what I mean? Oh, he's wrestling? Cool. What's he doing? And then the first time I ever saw him care was when I wrestled Jerry Lawler. I came in the room, and he was like, Jerry Lawler, you're going to kill Jerry Lawler. And I was just like, whoa. How'd you know I was doing that? Oh, I made a Facebook. Look, I added you 6 months ago. You never accepted. I was like, oh, my God. Like,
really did.
but yeah, so I mean, they didn't approve of it. I think they do now because they see results. I don't think they approve of it. I think it's because they think something's coming from it still. So I think they're okay with it. I do not think, like, my mom will never tune into a wrestling match and be like, oh, that was a great match you had. And I show her for 5 seconds. She's like, yeah, great. Did you get hurt? You're okay, all right? Everything was good? Did that guy hurt you? No, okay, good.
How about your brother? Is he supportive of your career? What's he up to today?
Busy. He's a busy dude, man. He's a cop. He's a police officer for
okay.
a port authority. He's divorcing right now, middle of a divorce, and I guess it's taking up most of his time or whatever. But he's always been like, he's a stud, man. Like, he's always been the stud. So, like, he kind of, while my dad was working all the time, he's kind of who raised me. So he's always been super supportive, but, like, he's never been like, hey, man, good job. Like, if I hit a home run with him in practice, it was like, yeah, that was 1 out of 99 pitches. You missed 98 of them. You know what I mean? I was like, well, forget about the 1 home run now. He always had that personality with me, which I feel made me a lot tougher because then I'll call him on the phone and be like, this stupid match went da-da-da-da-da, this referee da-da-da-da-da. He's like, I don't give a damn, dude. Like, blah, 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 blah. If you were that good, you would have been able to recover in the situation anyway. And it's like, you know what? I hate talking to you, dude. I can't even blah, 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 blah. He's never the guy. It's like, don't worry about it. Right. You know, so, I mean, he's super supportive, but in his own loving way. You know, and then my sister's in La La Land, so.
Well, it works out for you. You definitely have a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, no, I do. I do.
Family,
I have a couple of them, especially when I keep getting knocked down. Like, in a sick way, I like getting knocked down. Like, the injury has been the greatest thing for me to kind of sit back and be like, you know what I mean? But I have a game plan, and I'm going to absolutely execute it, and I feel like that's kind of what I've been missing. I've been missing a game plan, and I just feel like I've been rocking to the punches too much, where, oh, wow, I got some extra work. I'm going to Raw and SmackDown. Awesome. Okay, now I'm going to Impact. Awesome. Now I'm going to Ring of Honor. Awesome. But why am I not getting a job at these places? Why am I not staying on TV? Why am I not getting a match on TV, only a little dark match? Or what am I missing here? Why do I just keep coming back and getting these opportunities? So now I'm going to figure out what was missing, where I just kept getting used as a background, and make sure I figure out how to be the front round. Is that the right word? Front round? I guess it was.
Is anybody in
front round? Yeah, I don't know.
Front round. That's what it is. So
that sounds right.
Pro wrestling, you make it up.
You bring it up. Anybody at WWE ever gave you advice, like when you came in? Who's some of the guys that you talked to that maybe gave you some advice?
That's a good one. I have a handful. There's a lot of people. I'm so blessed, but I've never been lucky blessed at all. I've been around people that have absolutely busted their ass and have gotten there and have given me enough respect to continue to talk to me. I am mentored a lot by like Shannon Moore, who's not with the company, but he's one of my closest friends, and lunatic, but great mind with wrestling. And he's actually having, I don't know if you follow him, like a second coming of his career right now. He looks like $1 million. He's acting great. He's on top of the world right now, health-wise. But he helps me a lot. Luke Gallows is one of my top mentors. I was able to spend time with him in Georgia, at his home, and train with him there in his dojos. With Joey Mercury, where he was still working with the WWE at the time, and get a really close connection with him, who I can bring up at the end, has helped me a lot recently. Drew Gulak helped train me, helped develop my entire character as a Green Machine, believe it or not. And he's been giving me a lot of advice recently, probably more than anybody, honestly, right now, is Drew Gulak. And little things you would never think is a wrestling practice thing, that he'll just be like, hey man, can you just send me a minute video of you just talking? Hey, don't scream, don't go in character, I just want you to talk. Do you know how many times I have to film this video because I don't know how to be like a pro wrestler? Yeah. So it's like, oh my God, be a person. She's like, just relax. Now she's giving me promo help. Now all of a sudden I'm like, wait, you're not giving me promo help here. Like, you know what I mean? So that's really, and that's his test. Like, I came into him with the elite athlete gimmick while he was booking for CZW's Dojo Wars. And he's like, okay, cool, I love it, awesome. 5 minutes before my match went out there, man, my name was still not on the board. So I was like, Drew, like, what's going on here, man? Like, why, where am I? Oh, you're on there, Mike McAllister. I was like, no, it's Mike Orlando. He's like, no, it's absolutely not. It's Mike McAllister, and your gear is over there. I don't know what you're wearing. And I was in my elite athlete gear, and I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, I didn't tell you, you're a cowboy. He's like, you're the, what did he say? You're the rootin' tootin' most toutin' guy in the West, and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, absolutely not. I came from football background. I'm this, I'm that. And I promise you on everything, let my career be. Opened the door and was like, okay, bye. Leave. And I was like, really? He's like, leave. I don't need you. I need a cowboy. And I sat back down in the chair because I wanted to work for CZW at the time. Sat back down in the chair and was like, I guess I'm going to have to do this. Put on these leather pants with tassels on it and a vest. And I feel the vest has a cap gun in it. And it really fires the sound where, like, you know, the rounds in it, it makes the noise. And he goes, oh, perfect. That's your slap. When you hit the super kick at the end, shoot the cap gun and scream yeehaw. I was like, now I think I'm the toughest dude in the world, and now I'm going out there as a cowboy. Okay? I went out there and probably got more over than I've ever gotten over as myself. Okay? Had to do this character for about 2 months, absolutely hated it. So all of a sudden I'm wrestling on the pay-per-views, and they're doing entrances like Finn Balor-esque for me, where people are on their hands and knees doing tumbleweeds and stuff, and they're having a bunch of people, like I had an African-American man, I had a pretty girl, Ashley America, I guess she did like a pretty girl gimmick, and all of us were rednecks only there. in that one promotion, and everybody knew what we did outside of it. And it was just like, she'd come out with a dip cup and spit, and I had like this cap guns thing, and I would just like scream bang at the top of my lungs and come out, and they'd have human beings on all fours with fake tumbleweeds going like this back and forth. And like you saw them, it was like part of a comedy act. And I never had so much fun in my life, honestly. And then one day I got in the back, and he's like, oh, put your elite athlete gear on under this. And I was like, why? He's like, because the crowd knows now. Now they want the real mic. So now we're going to bring out the real mic. And all of a sudden, he's 5 minutes before we go out there, he's like, don't take it off yet. We're going to cut some promos. He's making me do promos as this character. And then 2 seconds later, take everything off and be Mike Orlando in the video and be like, it's not me. Blah, 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 blah,
Do you think that was genius or insanity?
Man, when
awesome.
I finally took off the stuff and became myself again, I knew exactly who I was because he made me do everything I was not. But then I also got so comfortable being uncomfortable, which is what you have to be with everything. Put your ego aside, check it at the door, and just accept your role and excel at it. And like I thanked him, and she's a witness, recently in person at SmackDown, and was like, that was probably the greatest lesson I've ever gotten. Because everybody looked at me and was like, wow, 6'4", long hair, you look like a wrestler, cool. So now all of a sudden when I did a backflip and it was like, wow, the big man can backflip, do the backflip because you're big. Drew would look at me and be like, if you ever do a backflip like that again, I'm going to throw you out the building because I have Leo Rush. He does a better backflip. Don't do it. You know what I mean? And I would be like, oh, well, I'm 300 pounds and I'm doing it. So blah, 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 blah. And Drew would be like, I don't care. Shut up. And that made me learn so much instead of being this, oh, it's okay because you're the big guy. Okay, you're the generic wrestler, so we're going to tell you it's okay because you should get away with it. Drew would look at me and be like, hey, you're either here with all of us, and if you're even here slightly, I'm going to bring you here. You know, and I thank him like crazy. I know I got a little off topic with like the people helping me, but I put something stupid on social media, man, I have a message in a matter of seconds. And that's what I'm thankful for. And, you know what I mean? And like he on the inside has been helping me a lot. Couple referees I used to work with, Bandito from ECPW. Eddie's working on TV as a ref. He's been helping me. Since my tryout, I was able to get a handful of connections back and forth. But everybody kind of gives you the same thing, you know, it's just more so the keep waiting it out, keep holding out, keep doing what you got to do, and little tweaks here and there, you know what I mean, coming from the inside.
Speaking of your tweets, one of my favorite tweets that you wrote, this is a good one. You said, currently my strongest muscle is my smile.
There you go.
And I won't let that break.
Absolutely. Your muscle, your mouth is actually, your smile is supposed to be the strongest one you have. I absolutely lately have been in a funk, I guess, because I've been hurt. But not a depressed funk. It's like I said, it's a different take on everything. So what I just do is kind of force myself to smile on that take, no matter what. It's what we're dealing with. You know, it's not like you could change it. Nothing's going to change no matter what I go about trying to do. So I've been kind of making sure if something's not really going my way, out the door, move on with it.
And with Allie always smiling, it's hard not to...
She's always. Yeah. She's a happy one.
See, I can't be screaming that much if I'm always smiling.
Yeah, well, you don't really scream that much, only in the car.
Allie, what was it like seeing Mike, like, injured and down on himself? Like, what did that do to you?
That was horrible because it was at, like, the worst time for him. He was at the peak of everything where he needed to be. So when he was upset in the hospital, I was crying for him. Like, he didn't even have to cry. Like, that was heartbreaking on my part, but he got back up so quick.
Yeah.
It didn't last long.
Yeah, I
it
just
really
saw you guys
didn't.
post a picture the other day in his gear, and I literally was like, how is this guy anywhere near a ring?
I did. I chokeslammed 3 people, too.
That's why I texted you. I was like, congrats on coming back. Like, I was like, how is this happening?
It was
I have no idea.
A little weird with that, but yeah, it happened at a very bad time.
I'm thinking about what you just talked about, like you dressing up as a cowboy. Like you wouldn't ever want to dress up as a cowgirl and maybe get you out of the shell?
A cowgirl.
That's what she
Hey, maybe I'll try that.
Something crazy like that. His story makes me think like maybe if you just went somewhere completely uncomfortable, you'd just be like, all right, I know what I'm doing. Like, let's do this.
Yep.
Could work out.
Maybe I will try that. Cowgirl, maybe?
Yeah.
Cowgirl, Allie Recks.
You know Mike could be versatile as a heel, but can you be a heel, Allie?
Now, yes, I feel confident in that, for sure. Yes.
It's not like your real personality, but it's something that you'd have to...
No, I have a lot of fun with it now.
Okay.
Do you smile while you're a heel?
I can, though. That's what makes it better.
Like Alexa Bliss style?
Yeah, no, I'm starting to like it.
Yeah, no,
you never
you're
know.
definitely getting better with it.
Maybe I'll change that up.
You guys want to share with your fans a crazy story where the car broke down? I guess you were driving. What happened there?
Oh my God. We're like driving down the highway. We're on our way to PPW, which we were already like crazy
Hazleton,
late for.
Pennsylvania, which is the middle of nowhere if you live in New Jersey. It's the middle of nowhere, but continue.
We're driving down the highway, and literally my car just stops in the middle of the highway. Stops completely.
But like literally stops. Like we're going 50 miles an hour, and it felt like Gambit just completely like.
He's yelling at me,
Stop
thinking
the
I
car,
like
yep.
hit the brakes, and he's like, "What are you slamming on the brakes for?" I had to pull over and everything. What was going on? What was it doing?
Speedometer wasn't moving. The RPMs weren't moving. Nothing was moving on the car. But the car would run, but it sounded like it just would not like shift. So like that. So about to overheat and blow up as we were going.
I thought a fuse blew, so I'm under the hood popping out fuses and like trying to change them all. I would drive like 2 feet.
And I couldn't move because my leg is completely locked out.
And it's raining.
Middle of the night, or I was about to ask.
About 45 minutes before, or into showtime.
No, it was already bell time.
Into 45 minutes into bell time at this point.
So we were already late to get there. I had no way. So then now there was no way we were getting a tow truck to get us there in time for the show.
You didn't even tell them. We triple shotted that day.
Yeah, that was it.
So we went to 3 different places. That's what happened. So we went to 3 different shows.
Yeah.
And we're on our way to our 3rd, and we had another one after PPW.
Do you remember the 3 shows?
Too. We did 3 shows in a day.
Yeah.
What were the 3 shows?
Forza Lucha, I wrestled and commentated.
Forza Lucha, Synergy, Pro Wrestling, and Gimmickry. What was it?
We did the...
What's
the video.
I forget. It's the Gimmickry promotion he did. Modern Vintage Wrestling, which had just started.
That was after PPW.
Yeah, and we made it, and then the car broke down on the way there 45 minutes into the show, but we were surprised at the end anyway. So we were allowed to be late, so we knew how to time everything up, and we still made it.
God.
We still made it, but
driving down the road with your hazards on, going 20 miles an
219
hour.
miles away from home, so Easy Pass, not Easy Pass, the tow truck, AAA, only covered 100 miles. And then we had to pay $5 every 3 miles.
Every mile.
Yeah, so it was a fortune
to get the car home.
So how was it his fault, Allie?
Hey,
free to blame him.
hey.
She found ways.
I tried to fix it, okay? You should have saw me.
It was my fault because my car was in the
mechanic.
shop. Usually we run my car to the ground, not hers.
It's always the man's fault. Everyone knows that. Come on.
Switching gears here before she kicks you there.
Right
memories of Teddy Hart. You wrestled, you teamed with Teddy Hart, wrestled with him?
Wrestled against him a couple
him.
times. He's actually like one of my close friends too. Great dude. And man, he's a wild one,
He
but a
wears
great
his heart
dude.
on his sleeve.
Man, he is a great human being. And there's a million stories you're going to hear about Teddy Hart from over the years. People are going to say a million things. I've only been around for 6 years. I have no idea what he did a million years ago. And I don't give a damn about what he did a million years ago because a million years ago, I wasn't a great person either. Not that I was a bad person. It's just you get better over time and you learn. And you don't look back on people and what they used to do. You look at what they currently do. This guy checked on me every single day, every 6 hours, I'd say, after my surgery, okay, just to make sure I was mentally good. Didn't even ask me how you feel. He's just like, bro, you're not going crazy, right? You're not doing anything stupid, right? You're not taking no painkillers, right? By just making sure everything was right for me. Now, who am I to you? You could call your Uncle Bret Hart, okay, and talk to him on the phone. You're calling me. You know what I mean? And drove down to see us. We drive to him to see him. He's in Pennsylvania, about an hour. We go get food. We go to the gym. And we just talk, and he does not even talk about himself. Like, he wants to know what's going on in your life, what's going on in your house, how's everybody doing in your family.
Doesn't talk about the Persian cats?
All the time. He loves them. He collects them. He sells them. Made a good living off of them. But he doesn't, I kind of got a lot of my positivity stuff recently from him. He doesn't look at any of the negativity. You write something negative about Teddy Hart, he doesn't even see it. His mind goes right over it. Okay, 10 years ago, apparently Teddy Hart would have had like 10 knives in the ceiling falling for you accidentally if you said something about him. You know what I mean? Like, he was a crazy man. Now, most positive person in the world, and he stepped in for me when I got hurt. When I went down in the back, he came over, said, the ambulance is on the way, or you're going to the hospital right now, we just figured it out. I'm going to go wrestle for you.
No hesitation.
And just went out there and on the fly wrestled Joey Janela, and what I was told was an awesome match, like 27 minutes long or something. And now you're talking about Janela thought he was wrestling me, had this in his head, and now all of a sudden Teddy Hart comes out there and they go 27 minutes. Testament to both of them. You know what I mean? That's incredible. That's pro wrestling, and that's where my mom should have been. Things like that, you know what I mean? And seeing wrestlers like that. And I, unfortunately, made them watch a warehouse that was a tiny little, you know what I mean? They never got to see the greatness like they got to see there, you know? But yeah, Teddy is outstanding person and wrestler. And we're going to team together, actually, when I come back. So we're going to do like a little hard foundation type of thing. And we're going to start that up pretty soon, advertising for it.
When are you actually coming back?
September, I'm going to say. They said 6 months. December would have been the 6-month mark. Doctor can't clear it right now because he hasn't seen me, my doctor. But they said I wouldn't walk for 3 months. Okay, I'm 3 weeks out of surgery. I'm now 4, and I'm walking perfectly fine. In rehab, I'm perfectly fine. My strength is almost back already for the most part for moving. He tells me he can't until I see him again, confirm it, but it's going to be shorter than 6 months. So I took my first booking on September 22nd, and God willing, it's going to happen right there. And then I was told recently that September 27th, I should be wrestling another big match in Brockport, New York at IWF. And I guess I got to keep that under wraps or whatever, but I think it's going to be the debut of a WWE star that was recently released on the independent scene. So that should be his first ever match against me. Should be kind of cool to see.
Is he a tall guy?
Yes.
Okay.
I am pretty tall.
So when you were talking about coming back from your injury, Allie was smiling the entire time. So I'm going to ask her, what's that about? Because you don't seem that happy.
Let's hear it. What's that about?
Let's hear it. I think you're crazy.
Not for September.
I mean, I think he's crazy too.
Allie, you went through a rough injury yourself when you were at ECPW for 4 or 5. I think you came back in last February after like 6-7 months with your knee.
Oh, yeah, when I did blow my knee out.
Yeah,
that
and
was
you came
pretty
back
rough.
a little too soon, didn't you?
No, absolutely not.
Thank you. This is good. I like this.
Nice.
We need more of this.
I got your back. I got your back, Mike.
There we go. That's what you get. You did come back early.
Come on.
You did. And then not to mention, she blew her knee out because she broke her foot, and her foot was broken. And she came back too early from the broken foot and twisted her knee and then blew her knee out. So.
Wow.
Damn.
That's
Cut me out,
That's
man.
impressive, though.
and you've blown out the same knee how many times?
4.
Jeez.
So.
Because Mike, you played football. You know what it's like. Like Frank could tell you the same.
Same conference, actually.
When you're in professional wrestling, if you get hurt, somebody could go in there and take your spot right away. So it's like if you're gone too long, do you think that's why competitors like yourself?
I haven't disappeared. I haven't stopped. I've been
Not
on
at
social
all.
media. I've been on everything. I've been at every show I was supposed to be at so far, except for reality or wrestling, because American Airlines is the worst, and their flight tickets are absolute fortune right now, and it's not worth it to bring me there for like $1,000 to just say, hey guys, I'm hurt, and go back home. So I've been cutting vignettes online for them, but haven't missed a single booking. I get there and even put on my gear, as you were saying before, and then do something. I do something of some sort. I'm not going to wrestle right now, but I will be relevant in some capacity. And then when I get on the internet, I make sure that I don't even talk about being hurt anymore. I don't even let anybody remember I'm hurt. I'm advertising posters for upcoming
Started
things.
a YouTube series on your YouTube channel, The Green Machine.
Yep, yeah, the grass is always greener.
Yeah,
And I
grass
have
is always
a
greener.
lot of content that I haven't put out there because I'm going to be professional about it this time, because I have so much that I need to just separate and put in series and have out there every week so people can actually tune in on time and watch it, rather than be like, every Monday at 7 and on Sunday night be like, Tuesday at 6 this week. It's going to happen, I promise. Like, going to have everything finished. But yeah, that's a different side of my life. I'm an absolute nerd. I have a very different life. And I feel like no one expects that out of pro wrestlers. I was a football player, as you know, and they're very different people. Okay, and now I have a pro wrestling background, a football background, a real life being a nerd background. Put all those 3 things together. I have some weird friends. I have some weird moments. I have some crazy stuff. And then you put her in the mix, and
I just saw you guys went to the Ghostbusters.
I'm a huge fan. Man,
That was
I love
awesome.
Ghostbusters, dude.
I was actually really jealous about these shirts that you guys
Yeah,
found.
yeah.
Like that's
Yep,
that
they're
was sick.
Firehouse shirts I got too. And from the actual Firehouse, they sell shirts in there. So I bought those. Then we went to the Wax Museum after that, and we did the Ghostbusters experience. I don't know if you ever did this thing before.
Never been.
I stood in front of the
Virtual-
Ghostbuster car. You're talking about the firehouse in Wayne? Is that the
No, we went to like the one in
Oh,
New
you
York.
were in New York? Oh, okay,
The movie
okay.
set
Oh,
one.
the actual movie set.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went to the
Yeah.
wax museum
Gotta try that
after,
out.
which was like an experience, and they gave you like a proton pack and a gun and glasses. Not glasses, like a box that went over your head.
Virtual reality.
And you went into virtual reality in a big room, but like, man, I looked at her and it was her face, like her thing, but on a Ghostbusters body. And like everything was accurate, nothing was wrong, and it almost looked a little cartoony, but you go to touch the doorknob, and it was really a doorknob.
And you really have to like open the
And you
door.
had really open doors and stuff, and then we're walking, and like, you're on a balcony, and wind's blowing, and you're walking on a real balcony on these things, looking under you at the real New York City. Man, it was insane.
And the gargoyles.
You kill the marshmallow man, and you smell burning marshmallows in the room and stuff. So like, if you haven't done that, I think it's over, right?
No, I think it was the last day.
I think it was the last day. If you never did, man, craziest experience I've ever seen. Like, totally.
You guys are. You
But if
guys,
not, do it.
Now we
If
gotta
not,
try
do
it.
they're promoting the shit out of this, and then they tell us it's the last day.
Try it. You gotta see.
You guys just brought us all the way up here, and then
And they have like they have an exhibit in the wax museum too. Like they had Slimer just floating around in the building, and I was like,
It would like spit water
he
at
was
you.
just like spitting water, and it's a real Slimer, but it was a 3D hologram.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? And it's like I can't believe we have technology where this thing is just moving past me right now. You know?
Seriously.
But yeah,
That's
nerd,
cool.
nerd.
Tell them what you did last week.
What did I do last? Oh, yeah, I got in trouble last week. Well, no, she got in trouble because she left the house for too long. And I
to
downloaded
work.
this Let Go app. I don't know if you heard of Let Go. Now I'm going to put this thing over.
course.
Okay, whatever you want, go on Let Go because they got it for cheaper. See, that's a sign from God right
Yeah.
there. Hey, get the Let Go app.
There's a notification bell for that.
So I bought a 6-foot stormtrooper. That's just it. That's what it is. And now when you go in my house, there's a stormtrooper and asks for your identification when you walk in.
Shut up.
Okay? Yeah.
Terrifying that is.
Okay. He doesn't move, but he has a sensor.
That's awesome.
So he stands there like this. You walk in, and it's like identification.
Yeah,
blah,
you
blah,
don't even
blah,
turn the
blah.
light switch on. There's
She
a
drops
big
whatever she's
thing
holding every single
standing
time
there.
and forgets.
Oh, if you could please take a photo of that and
amazing.
send it over to
Oh,
us.
I will.
honestly,
And
we
then,
need
I
that.
mean, if you look across the room on the other side, I have Darth Vader 6 foot too now.
And
So
BB-8.
That's why. Yeah, and I have a
And
full
R2-D2.
size. And R2-D2 shoots Leia on the wall like, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Says it right on the wall.
What?
And everything. And then I have a Millennium Falcon the size of this table.
He's not even
I'm
kidding.
not kidding. And I bought that on Let Go too. Okay? Kid sold it to me for 40
What an
bucks.
app.
You're not gonna
Allie,
not buy a
Allie,
Millennium
that's a shopping
Falcon for 40
addiction.
bucks.
What an app.
I haven't even put this thing online yet.
I wouldn't
man.
say
This thing
addiction.
is-
I'm kind of up there with him. I
It's
have
for the 6-inch figures, so it's in scale to those. And it's a Millennium Falcon. So
Wow.
it's just, I have no room
I need
for
to
it. I don't know what
start
to do with it.
searching
It just
through
sits
this app. I've been selling stuff on there. I need to start searching.
there. But don't tell me because I'll start buying.
Were you saying you're a nerd too, Allie?
with certain things. I have an entire.
She's a nerd.
Okay, yeah, maybe a little bit. I have an entire like bookshelf of all Jurassic Park stuff. Every single one that
She's
came
not
out.
missing one action
I'm
figure.
really
She's
not
every
missing
single
one. I made sure.
I respect it.
Everyone. And truck.
Oh my god.
Not
it's
Harry
awful.
Potter? All right, that's disappointing. That's cool.
Oh, I apologize.
You like Harry Potter a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's cool. I don't have nothing against Harry Potter. No
It's
need.
all right. I'll be
If you guys
disappointed.
ever vacation in Hawaii, I could tell you the exact spot where they filmed the Jurassic Park. I did the helicopter ride right over where they filmed
Really?
Jurassic Park.
Really?
Yeah.
When I was in
Got stories.
Dominican Republic, I did like a little tour too. They had some stuff that they
Yeah.
filmed there. That means we got to go to Hawaii.
We have to
Read
go to
the thing,
Hawaii.
the notifications
That
are
was
on.
it.
Going to Hawaii
Yeah.
Another sign from
on her
God.
Jurassic Park collection.
What do you mean?
Talk about Full Throttle Pro Wrestling. How did that come about? And they're based in Florida. You're wrestling all around the world. pretty
Yep.
much.
Shannon Moore was able to introduce me to John. John runs Full Throttle. He is a great wrestling mind. Shannon Moore was able to bring me to him on a personal level before I've ever wrestled for him. So I got to know him as a person and see what his vision was. And then he always took care of me like a top superstar, always treated me like a top superstar, and always listened to my ideas. And we went from small crowds to bigger crowds and bigger crowds, and now bigger names and everything happening there. And now with her, I'm able to actually have my girlfriend travel with me to Florida, get a vacation out of it, you know, do what we love to do and wrestle. Yeah, it was cool. It's a good life, and he always takes care of us. We have beautiful hotels. If you haven't checked out Full Throttle Pro Wrestling, like you really,
If they ever need a camera crew, please send
Absolutely.
them our way because we would love to.
listen. I mean, like, and that's such a rare thing in independent wrestling is to get these promotions that take care of us. It's just he always made sure that our hotels were paid for, food was paid for half the time too.
Wow.
drinks,
rides.
I'm gonna say that.
That's
That's
amazing.
Rides,
amazing.
Ubers would just show up and take us places.
Wow.
And just stellar shows. That just top to bottom, you have athletes. And I got hurt, and he was on the phone with me literally the entire night. And I just, how do I say this without throwing crazy information out there? I just screwed him over because I was supposed to be going the next day to Florida to wrestle and defend my championship, his heavyweight championship, the next day. And I canceled on him a week before because an opportunity was falling into my place that Saturday. Let's just say that I couldn't pass up for wrestling. And I called him a week before, after he advertised, after he made posters, after he booked MVP to wrestle me, which was a match I wanted really, really badly. And I called him about a week before and was like, hey man, about that, you gotta cancel the flights, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. This guy was just like, no problem. I'm so proud of you, man.
Wow. So
like this is great for your career.
What's the name of this promoter? We gotta give him a shout out here. That's outstanding thing to
He
hear.
kind of stays a little
He's
bit
low key
behind the scenes of the promotion. His name is John. You
Okay.
can contact him directly through the Facebook. That's how he likes to go. You'll never see him at
I
the
like
show.
him even more.
Man, you'll never see him at the show. He
That's
never puts his
something-
face in the
Like
thing.
that,
He
yeah.
stays in the back, has a general manager go out there, does everything. But man, you get your envelope the second you walk in. Okay, everything is just the most perfect. There's food in the locker room, drinks, Gatorades, everything. And he makes sure it's just a respect thing. But he's a great promoter. He stayed on the phone with me after I screwed him, and now I'm hurt in the hospital. He's the first one to call me. He's like, don't even worry about this, man. Don't even worry about the opportunity. Well, I'm gonna get, what do you say about the flights? You want me to rebook your flights? You want to come down here in the morning? Like, because he didn't know how bad it was. I'll fly you to Florida. You just come hang out. You want to hang out in Florida? I'm like, dude, my leg fell off. And like, he didn't realize, like, it really, like, my leg was, there was no way I could even,
Wow.
So, yeah, great man, great man.
Yeah,
And his wife is awesome too, and she's very supportive of him and what he wants to do, and she comes to all the shows, and it's a really good environment. Full
Do you get
Throttle's a
booked
great
too,
place.
Allie?
Yes, I'm there too. I go.
She's the women's champion.
Well, he was making it seem like you're going there for
Getting
vacation.
Oh no, that's just a little bonus.
I seen when you guys posted, you had the women's title. He had the
enormous. Have you seen that belt?
It's
I've seen this.
bigger than
Enormous.
me.
It's like 30 pounds too.
Oh my god, it's so heavy.
Wow.
People don't realize how heavy some of these belts are, man.
Seriously.
And you go to
Like
the airport
steel
with
plates
them.
on them things.
Well,
Yeah,
so you
how
guys
is it going
take
to
the
the
belts with
airport?
you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got.
Oh yeah, and then
You
you
should
go to
see
the
the looks
airport
in
and
the
you see
airport.
every cliche thing in the airport. Can I take a picture with it? Like in the thing, it's like no.
And then you try to
Can I
put
get
it
on
in
my
the
flight?
bag, and they
Yeah.
always beep, and then they take them out the bag, and they're holding them up, so it's like
Nothing's
even
better
worse.
with me and my green hair and a suit and everything, and they're just watching me the entire time I get up there. Then they look at my bag, they're like, all right, let's see what this guy's carrying. And it's like, okay, a mechanical arm, a mechanical suit, a robot suit. They're like, dude, what do you do, man? What the hell is this thing? It's like,
Here we go.
there we go. I gotta explain everything. Oh, that's really cool. Fingerprint swab, please, right here.
It's like, oh, okay.
Rob Terry, what was it like wrestling him?
He was hurt. He blew his knee out right before we were supposed to wrestle. I ended up wrestling Max Stardom that night, and who was just recently on NXT as well. And Rob Terry still showed up with a blown out knee and sat in the back with everybody and still walked out for a spot at the end of the match. Okay, man, his knee was just like my knee. It was all blown up like this and everything. Okay, man, look at that dude. You look at that dude in the back, like that's a pro wrestler. Like you don't have to even think twice. You see him walk through the doorway, he's got turned. It's like he's the biggest human being I've ever seen in person, and yet he's humbled enough to stay in the back and still do what he's got to do. And then you see some of these hotheads on the independent. There we go.
There it was.
Rob Terry's an awesome person. I wasn't able to wrestle him, but I will. We're gonna go back to that. I believe he's healed now. Now it should be almost 6 months later. So I believe he had knee
I
surgery.
mean, not
now.
everyone's a machine like you. but-
MCL, man, I'll be back before it. I came back from a 9-month MCL tear in 6 months for football. MCL, PCL,
Sure Kane loves
LCL.
that.
Yep, Kane.
What is your goal a year from now, Mike?
I want to be on TV. I will be on TV. That's what it's got to be. I'm not coming back for nothing. And I don't mean nothing as an independent wrestling. Independent wrestling is always going to be what it is. It's great. I'm coming back and getting on TV, and then I'm going to do independent wrestling on top of that. So I want to be everywhere in a year, but I'm not doing the every promotion every Friday, Saturday, Sunday anymore. I'm going to be doing exactly what I need to be doing in order to get to the next level. Like I said when I started with you, I'm so sick and tired of being an afterthought. Like, okay, hey man, we're going to come down, we're going to use you for blah, 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 and you just sit there the whole night like, and you just watch everybody else wrestle. It's like sitting on the sidelines in football, you know what I mean? You just, who wants to do that? I hated football, but then I'm wearing all bright green, and all these people know I'm wearing bright green, and now I'm not playing. Oh, coach, you better put me in. Like, you know what I mean? You can't do that in pro wrestling. So it's kind of, I'm not coming back for just shits and giggles. I'm coming back 1,000% to be where I need to be. I'm changing everything. I'm going to come back as a green machine 1,000%. But everything's going to be different. I have a blueprint that I got to stick to. So there's going to be a lot of changes, but a lot of good stuff.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, very, very true.
Do you guys could see yourself as a package deal, like if say like Impact or ROH or WWE came calling?
Yes.
I wouldn't be.
I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hope so. But we
I don't know how to put it either.
were being brought places together already right before I got injured. And fun fact, I still went injured too. So whatever those little rumors you're reading online, I mean, a lot of people, there's like mixed reports about it. It's 100% true. Yes, I did show up to Raw and SmackDown with my legs broken. So showed up on crutches and was just like going through like over wires around the Titantron and stuff in the back. And
3 days after surgery.
3 days after surgery.
Stitches,
So
staples,
I couldn't even,
the whole nine.
Yeah, my knee exploded.
Were you supposed to wrestle tryout matches? Is that why you were? Can you?
I have no idea.
Somebody wrestled something, right?
Can we say that? Yeah, we
I don't
can
know.
say
You
that.
had a little something.
Without getting into detail,
know where
but
you're
you were there.
Yeah. We were getting any sort of opportunity, which is an opportunity to do something just to be seen. And excuse me, I think people overlook that. They say they're an extra, or I got extra work, or I'm going to be this, that, and the third. The last thing you're really worried about is the extra work. I mean, it's all about presentation, how you approach things. I felt
present yourself.
in my head, I agreed to be here. I got all my doctor's paperwork to be here before I got hurt, all my blood work. I did everything to be here. I said I'd be here, so I'm going to be here. And my knee might have not been working, but you never said I was wrestling, so I have no idea what my role is going to be. You might have just wanted me to sit in catering the entire time, and I'm going to go do that. So I showed up as best as I could, and my knee literally exploded, like the second day again at nighttime, because I was not supposed to be out, and like the whole scar just opened right back up on me. So it was grueling, but I hope I made an impression on top of my impressions that I've already had with them. Like, I've always perceived myself to be somebody that's professional in person, but I hope I gave more of a human side there, because I have no idea how to differentiate the two. I've always said that about myself. Like, I'm a human, yeah, but we're taught as football players years ago, like you do this, and that's just what it is. You wake up at 5 a.m., you just become habitual. So I've always been doing the same kind of stuff, and it just, I always presented myself very confident in what I was doing, but now I wasn't so confident on crutches. I wasn't so okay. It was like very, let me lean against this wall for 2 minutes so I don't fall down. You know, so you see me sweating. I'm not like this normal happy-go-lucky person, and I saw all the people that helped me get to where I'm at like that. And every one of them had no idea how to handle it. Like Drew Gulak looked at me at the top of the bleachers, and he started running down. And I was like, no, stay. And he's like, no, don't come up the bleachers. And I made him stay so I could walk up every damn step of those bleachers in the arena. And it was because I'm there. So I can put my crutches down and put one step up. Just wait up there. I'm going to be up there. But you're not going to run. You're Drew Gulak. You're not going to run down. And I don't look at it like in a marky way. I'm going to learn something from you in the next 5 minutes talking to you. So you stay where you are. I'm going to come up there. Whether it be just something like, hey, man, good job showing up, which is what he did say. And that was my approval in my head for the first half hour I'm there. I'm going, man, no one wants me here. I shouldn't be here. This is terrible. This was a bad idea. Then you talk to the one person that's been helping me for so long. He's like, dude, I'm so proud of you for showing up. And you're like, whoa, okay, now every one of those steps makes sense. You know, so that's kind of, you know, what I'm thinking as far as how important it is to come back. Like, I can barely get up the steps right now. So how could you come back and not do something? Like, everybody's like, oh, what's your backup plan? Like, I have 2 degrees. You know what I mean? I could easily just be like, done. NFL didn't work, WWE, finish line, here we go, I'm done. Like, but here's my backup plan. It's to fix my leg and keep going. You know, so I can't come back and just, oh, well, here I am. I got to come back and make an impact, to say the least. And I don't mean it like that at all. I mean, it's just like where we're getting these chances. And it's not just WWE, and it's not a cocky thing where I feel like we're throwing information out. We're getting contacted at the time by a lot of different places, and it was the peak of my career. It was awesome. But now, 6 months later, it's going to be even more the peak because nothing was happening right there.
You guys are both still young.
I'm not worried at all, man. I just, like I said, there's a blueprint now, and I'm not just going to keep throwing shit at the wall. I'm like, oh, it worked. Cool. You know, so now I showed up like a completely broken down person, and now they contacted me for something recently and wrote back right away like, that was automated. Do not show up again, please. You're hurt. Stay home. Rest. Like, and she was laughing. I'm sitting there all pissed off. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, Mike, you're not showing up. You're not showing up. I hit up Drew. I was like, Drew, I can go. I'm walking. I'm this. I'm that. Could you pass a physical? No, but stay home, Mike. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's funny though.
That's a really good mindset to have though. It's like, you need them to know that you are willing to do whatever it takes at any time, no matter how healthy or unhealthy you are, and that's like Football literally taught us that.
Exactly. See, it's not even just them. I just need the world of wrestling to know. You know, I want everybody talks. You know, you give me an opportunity to be with the WWE. That's just the opportunity of the day. I have no connections, nothing like that. So if I could show up there like that, I'll show up to Ring of Honor like that. I'll show up to Impact. I'll show up to anywhere like that. New Japan. But I want them to talk about it, people to know like I'm that kind of person. So my goal isn't necessarily I need to be a WWE superstar. No, I just need to be on your TV screen. I need to be on All In. I need to be on those type of things. I need to be that guy. And I would have found my way on that show. If I was healthy, man, I would have found my ass on that show somehow. I don't care what it would have been. I guarantee somehow, some way I would have been there. And that's, to me, it's not even something I need to say like edited. That's how I am. And that's what I mean by throw shit at the wall, though. Because now, if I know All In, something like that's happening, I'm planning now for it, for months ahead. Instead, I was like, oh, well, as soon as they announce the first match, I'm going to find a way to blah, 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 blah. You know, no. Now I'm sitting here broken. It's like, okay, let me start getting bookings in October. Let me start doing this for November. Let me start doing this for... I was never, and she can vouch for me, I'm never that person. I'm the guy that sits there, I'm like, okay, Monday, where am I going this weekend? Okay, Friday we're going blah, 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 blah,
6 different places? Great.
Yeah, I double booked on this day. Great. Like, and that's how... I gotta have her. She doesn't let me do that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't let me do that anymore.
Is she the manager? She's your manager, your schedule
Well,
manager?
we have a real life manager. He's really good.
Yes.
Elliot Martinez. He does everything for us. Really, really good. But even I screw him up half the time. So she's a good backup for him.
Yeah.
She's got everything down like an old lady and a little book in her bag and everything. You have your bag?
It works.
You should
It's
show
over
it.
there.
It's a little
no,
like,
leave me alone.
oh, we're going to Pennsylvania this Friday.
So I don't double book like you.
I don't do it anymore because you control the book.
She's the queen bee. Now, talking of being a queen bee of like the new gen, let's talk about the new gen, Allie.
Oh, the new gen.
Your friendship with the Graysons and all. What's it like seeing Sonny Kiss on Lucha Underground?
Sonny,
We were just with him.
We were literally, we just spent the weekend with him in West Virginia, him and Killian, and we had the match with them. That was so much fun. But with the new gen and with him and that, like, I'm so proud of him. He works so hard, and he deserves it. He needs that, and he's killing it. He absolutely is.
I think it's really cool to see, not just him on TV, to him to be him on TV. Like no one's telling him what to do. No one's. I mean, I'm sure they're guiding him, but like he's himself. He didn't go on TV and become some masculine dude with a chain in his hand choking people out. And oh, you're a great wrestler. Here's your gimmick. He went on TV like, hey, be Sonny, you know, and like.
He's
just facts are facts. Like, look at him. Like, you know how hard life is when you go through life like how he is? To see someone just be like, hey, we love you. We accept you. We're putting you on TV in your dream life and your dream goal. Hell yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you work your whole life for. Mm-hmm. You know? So it's really cool to see him excel where he never should have not excelled. so many things could have went in his way. And
we're in a different time period now in society
absolutely,
as well.
Absolutely. But there's still those people, man. There's still those people that have something to say about everything and overlook talent because of orientations and skin colors. But it doesn't stop there. It goes from there to our government to the workplace. It goes everywhere you go. And it's not just pro wrestling. It's just great to see somebody be happy and be themselves. As for everybody else, I mean, in that group, they're all doing pretty well, I believe.
Everybody's doing like their own thing, killing it somewhere.
We don't really talk too much anymore, honestly. Like, we all talk every day in this group chat thing that we have, which I guess is great. Like, we literally, I guess, communicate all day, so I guess we don't not talk, but nobody has any time because we're busy, not because we don't have time for each other.
Yeah, that's
like, and then the greatest thing in the world is how we are with each other when we do see each other. I got hurt. She was booked with Northeast Wrestling and James Ellsworth. And the Graysons came to the parking lot to basically carry me inside. Made sure that there was chairs set up for me, water bottles, everything.
Everything he needed.
Now, Tartaglia, Mike Tartaglia, right? He's the one that runs, Mike Lombardi. Yeah, Lombardi, sorry. Tartaglia is the one we don't like. So there you go.
Edit that.
Lombardi.
him a little bit?
What's that? He does it to himself. Lombardi, who's an awesome guy, awesome promoter. I didn't mean to even confuse the two. He never had met me before. Now, here you got these two guys who were that, they had to bring in some random person in the locker room, set me up, give me waters and everything, and then we're like, hey, Mike, come here, this is Mike. And he came over very happy and everything, but what? You know what I mean? So it was very cool. Like, I don't see them, and they were just very supportive, made sure I can get in and out of the buildings, make sure I was happy. And then with her, complimenting her and seeing her. Sonny is doing great. Aaron and Kenny. Kenny is very close with us still. Aaron, I believe, has a girlfriend and is in very different promotions than all of us.
Yeah,
so we
he's
just
doing
don't
his own
ever
thing,
see
too.
him, but I think he's doing well.
He's killing it with that tag team.
He's doing well in a tag team now, I think.
Bradley's a scumbag. No, I'm kidding. I love the guy.
And then Kenny is, he's always developing as a character and as a wrestler. But again, it's a totally different circuit of places that we're all working, and just, we'll unite again soon, just never at ECPW as long as I'm around. And I'm just going off, huh? Left and right.
And it's good to see you guys, like, you guys are all breaking off into your own thing, but it's like, you're watching it from a distance, what everybody's doing.
Everything. And we still correct each other. We always, little things, like, hey, dude, like, you're having a hard day, take that stupid status down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You gotta marry somebody. Who's the cheapest guy in the group? The one that goes to the diner and tries to, get on out when the bill comes.
Bradley.
First guest.
I'm going to say Bradley, right?
Yeah, I would say Bradley.
Bradley. Sonny. No.
Oh my God.
Sonny is the worst. Yeah,
Sonny's
Sonny.
good
Yeah,
with
Sonny's
it, though.
good.
He's slick. That's why we
Sonny's
didn't forget.
good. He's very
Sonny's
very good. You know what though? But Sonny's not like, oh, let me get a free meal. Sonny's just Sonny, and that's what happens. Sonny's just like, oh my God, this meal was great. I love it. I love you guys. This, that, and the third. And then somehow, some way, somebody he knows is over there outside for the first time in 10 years. He runs over. Oh my God, great to see you. And we don't see him again. I guess we're paying. Yeah, but we don't care.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
don't care.
but like that's how we are too, though. We cover each other tabs.
Yeah.
We go to the gas station if I'm not driving. We don't. Hey man, can I have money for gas? Nobody does that. We don't do it with each other.
We just do.
Or we just don't. Like, you know what I mean? They'll just think, oh, I got dinner. Don't even worry about it, guys. I'm keeping money in your pocket. And then this person will be like, okay, I'll get the energy drinks before the show. You know what I mean? That adds up. It's $4 a drink. You're getting 6 of them or whatever, $25, So they're good people. They're great. And I'm happy every one of them are still here.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, when we had Prince on the show, and he said good things about everybody. He said Sonny Kiss is a gift to pro wrestling. Said all you guys, like, he wishes that he could have kept in touch with a lot of you guys. I don't know if you still keep in touch with
That's
him.
the only thing that we say. Like, we act like that, like, about, like, it's not anything personal. Like, it's not like
There's
we
no
love
need.
Prince. I don't know anything of what's going on with him. Like, he's disappeared completely. Like, and not like Buff Graber disappeared, though, because he's not like
he didn't disappear from
he's not
the earth,
gone, but he's
like,
there,
like,
but he just doesn't really come around often. But I just was with him at Forza Lucha, and I did commentary with him, and it was awesome. It was just like old times sitting next to him. He's the funniest guy in the world when you talk to him one-on-one and everything, and we did great commentary together, and I literally sat down. Now, Prince, people can say what they want about Prince. Prince has been wrestling longer than most independent wrestlers have been wrestling. And I don't care when people say, oh, well, he's never done anything in the business. When ECPW was ECPW, when it was good, they brought in everybody. Everybody. You know who everybody wrestled? Prince. For some odd reason, that's just how it was. And it's not an odd reason. It was because you look at yourself as a cocky wrestler at 22, you're in the mirror, you're like, I'm jacked up. I have long hair. Why am I not wrestling the Patriot? It'd be a much better match. Blah, 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 blah. Then you go out there and you see all the little kids in the front row, and not one of them are going to remember any one of these crap wrestlers on the show except for the Patriot. And now all of a sudden, Prince comes out, gets flipped upside down, has his singlet strangling him by the Patriot, and they're doing all these comedy spots, and the kids are laughing, the crowd is laughing, and everybody's entertained. So what happens? 100 people becomes 200 people. 200 people becomes 300 people. Now, I'm not saying he's the biggest draw in the world, but you're talking about consistency.
But he is a draw.
Okay? He was most certainly a draw at ECPW. And with that being said, you learn things from people like that. Now, could Prince show me a moonsault at the top rope? No, he couldn't. Okay, but I most certainly sat next to him before we started and was like, hey, man, never did commentary. What do I do? You know what I mean? I don't know if Prince did commentary. That's just me knowing Prince knows something about something. I'm going to talk to him about it. Now, if somebody passes away, unfortunately, this is like a little joke we use, there's probably a picture on Prince's page of him wrestling them at some point. Like, that's how it is. Like, and I laugh, like, but I'm so serious. You have, like, Vader, all these people. Prince has wrestled every one of them. Okay, and then you have old schoolers, bushwhackers. Prince has wrestled them. Like, come on, man. Like, I look back at wrestling, and it's like, you wrestled everybody. But then you talk to him in person now, and he does 1 or 2 shows every year, or 3 shows every year, barely wrestles anymore. But that's where the distance comes in play. It's not so much distance per person.
Yeah.
Like, on our show, he mentioned, like, because he was battling a lot with the depression and things like that. See,
I wouldn't even know any of that right now. Because, I mean, he was not, as far as I knew, he wasn't too much like that years ago. He was the most positive person in the room.
He was hysterical.
You know, he was a great person, but I wouldn't even know. And, you know, I'd probably reach out to him, actually know more about that. But he distanced himself from us, you know, but not in a negative way. I just think pro wrestling got to him, which, you know, it can.
Does.
Believe me, it can, man. It makes you really messed up. And it's not because it's a bad sport or anything. Life makes you mess up. You overwork yourself to death and you don't see the results you want to see. Eventually, you're going to try to get a new job, you know. And I think Prince overworked himself and never saw the results that, like I just said, I saw. When I was a little kid going to shows, Prince was on the show. You know, so when I got older and I seen Prince, it was never like a cocky look down on him. It was always like, oh, I remember you when I was a kid. And always there to help, man. Always. Always built the ring, always put the ring away, always gave you guidance, you know, and it just, I think he'll come around. I think he'll come around. He'll come back and have like one little last go around, to say the least.
Do both of you still consider him a friend?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love him, man. He's never done one negative thing to me in my life. Like, I went through some stuff about 2.5 years ago with an ex, and he was one of the closest people to me during all that. Very, very real, and just a really bad situation that I'm a hothead, real bad hothead, okay? And I want to go on social media and rip people apart half the time. And, like, I would get to the point where I was so angry, or he would be the one right there, like, dude, don't you dare. Don't you dare. And we were always together at this point. So it was like the new gen, I'm saying. So everybody else, no offense to them, none of them were like, hey, don't do that. You know what I mean? He was the one that was like, hey, blah, 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 you know. And
He's had the most experience to know what to
Always. Or if I got too loud somewhere and yelled, or if I acted up in a locker room, I didn't like something. I was young. Man, I went from a great football career to a wrestling locker room where I'm sure came off as an ass to many people. Like, and I don't know how to carry myself so much with that at the time. You know what I mean? So what is this?
What's going on with this mic?
Do you ever sing to each other?
I can't sing. Do you hear my voice?
Listen here, Mike. I talk to you specifically about
I
this.
can't. You
Look
sing.
at the added touch, Mike, just for you.
It's green.
green.
It's
Yeah,
meant
but
for
you're
you
the
to
one.
sing
You're
to
the one we're
me.
doing promo class. Allie's gonna sing.
Ooh.
It's green.
You're singing.
It's for you.
Why don't you do a duet together?
Sing to me.
It's green. No.
Come.
Usually have a couple drinks for this.
Just kidding.
It's a joke. Okay, ready? I'm not doing this by myself.
I don't hear you.
fire.
Come on, don't be shy.
The one. Come on, Allie. Desire, believe. We want to hear you, Allie. Come on.
I want it that way.
No one sing but Allie.
I don't know this part.
Worlds apart. Come on, hit us with this. This is promo class.
When you say
Mike, you gotta help her out.
want it that way.
Hit it.
Tell me why.
There it is.
There you go.
What a
It's your
heartache.
Tell me
why.
Ain't nothing
That's me.
but a mistake.
Tell me why.
I never want to hear you say I want it that way.
You have to see this girl karaoke after a couple of drinks for real. Okay? She'll be so proud of herself in the middle of the song. She'll be like, babe, you see this? And just start going again on the microphone and everything. So you want to see a non-shy version, I'll put it on my Instagram story. You should have seen her last night. You should put it on the Instagram story last night.
Nice.
Somebody had a
That
couple.
was good.
Somebody had that and darts and pool for some reason. She runs over to darts and pool and run across with darts. The last thing she should have in her hand in the bar. She's like, look, throwing them across the bar.
Love darts.
Something to do.
Mike Allie, any final words to your fans?
Oh, hold on. I got some questions.
Oh, go ahead,
too, man.
Mike.
Listen,
Go ahead.
listen.
Hey.
There's no way I can have this interview
Okay.
without mentioning our boys, man. Like,
Okay.
first of all, Big Mo, thank you for setting this up.
Absolutely.
Yes.
He's doing awesome.
Yeah.
He's doing awesome in life. And I'm
He's
proud of
actually
him.
my teammate now in our football league.
You play with him in that? I've seen pictures
I
of
actually do, and now he just moved over to the Patterson U. Thank you.
that. That's awesome, man. I'm
How
ready
is-
to play. Man, Mo is a... I told you about Mo. Mo was a beast, man.
Yeah.
Mo was a
He's
beast.
still a beast. With
Man,
the kid.
but like he was just a character, man. I don't know. Mo should have wrestled. Mo would have been something else, but a great teammate nonetheless, man. He really
What about
was.
LT? What were your experiences with LT?
LT was cool.
You guys played the same position, eh?
He was a left tackle.
Left
I was a
tackle.
guard. When I broke my knee in college, he played guard for me when I got hurt. He had moved from tackle. LT was the worst football player I've ever seen in my life when I met him, but he looked like a beast. He had long hair. He was an animal-looking, huge, enormous dude. I remember saying to myself, I'm never going to make it in college football. Like, with dudes like this around, you do not need me. And then I watched him play football, and I was like, that's the worst football player I've ever seen in my life. Okay, fast forward to like junior, senior year, man, the dude stepped up, dude.
Seriously.
Went to all these different clinics and trainings and everything. And by his junior, senior year, he was the player he should have been. Okay, but that doesn't take away from his years before because there was no spots.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing, even if he played like that, because we had studs at that point, every position, and everything happened for a reason for him. But when he stepped up, man, he was good. And like he didn't play anywhere after college, or he stopped at college?
No, he started coaching at...
He's skinny and great shape now, isn't he? Right?
Yeah, that's the dream for me.
Yeah.
He started coaching O-line for Abraham Lincoln High School, and
Okay.
he actually is really
He
good
had
at
great
coaching.
feet, man.
Yeah.
Great footwork.
And effort.
Yeah.
Great at being a douchebag after the whistle.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. That was
absolutely.
Wow, I remember that. He was famous. Hey,
was
look at
that
that.
your-
The ding nose, man. That
Did you
ding.
guys, was that your senior year together? Were you guys senior together, or was he?
No, he was a year older than me, and then I
Year
got
older.
hurt, so he was 2 years ahead of me at the very end.
Oh.
So, but LT never left college. I mean, he was there for everything we were there for.
Means what year was your senior year?
2014.
So we played. against each
2014
other.
was the year that we fought Montclair on the field. Do you remember that?
Everyone wants to fight Montclair.
Do you remember that? And they had to separate us with all the polices. and-
I don't
Crazy.
remember. I'm pretty sure we might have beat you. Willie P?
What, my senior year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys did, right?
Thank God we got
Was
one.
that what happened? Yeah, we did. We lost.
We
No.
blocked the kick.
Oh, yeah.
That was our one. Thank God.
Yeah.
We don't win many games, but we got that one. Thank God.
Oh, my God.
So sorry.
I do remember that. Wow.
It's
That was
all
my
right, man.
senior year, yeah. Yeah.
What a way to go out.
Man, I have a ring, though. You have a ring?
No.
okay, I'm just asking.
From my other school. It's all right.
I'm just saying.
Hey, listen.
Set up with that one.
It's a conference rivalry, man. No one understands it. It's all right. I mean,
Actually, we had a
we
lot of
call it
fun.
rivalry, but I mean, they win all the time. It's kind of like us and
No,
Montclair.
no, you guys got good, though. You guys, after that year, too. Didn't you guys have a good year the year after that, too?
Yeah, and then Our quarterback left after that.
You don't have to be so modest. Bury them a little bit. It's okay.
No, they were horrible
we were trash.
my first 2 years.
We absolutely were trash when I was
First
a
2
teenager,
years,
so.
terrible. But then my junior, you almost beat us, but we won. And
Yeah,
we
but
had to
a
come back.
last second field goal. Yeah,
Yep.
some shit. Yeah.
And then my senior year, you guys, you blocked our field goal. It was like a 10-yard field goal. All we had to do was kick 10 yards. And,
oh my god! I
well,
put my helmet down.
Our kicker was every day was wasted. So true
Nice.
story. Some Blue Mountain State
Blue
stuff,
Mountain
guys.
State, I
Like,
was
I'm
just
so
gonna say
serious.
that.
It's not possible he
Okay.
was point shaving at all, or
Dude, he
Ooh,
could not.
I
He
wish.
could not even walk straight. Okay, he'd walk on the field like this way. It's like Bill, kick that way, that way, that way. He would turn, start walking that way. I'm so serious, man. And I guess it's against regulations, but it's over with now. But
No one's gonna
he
yell at
would
us.
he would just man, he was always on point. He was a great kicker, but he just wailed it all the time. This is the one time I'm so serious, and I tell her all the time, he was totally sober. Man, he was totally sober, and he missed a 10-yard kick.
Damn.
Totally sober, man. I remember that
I
game,
feel like
dude.
you just told me the story too.
Bro, she's met him before.
I mean, you guys got to travel, so I mean, you can't be all upset. You went to Texas, didn't
Yeah,
you?
we went to we played Texas.
Was that your first time traveling overall? Like
With a plane, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but we played some other like places, Stroudsburg. I mean, like out of our area. But Texas A&M. Texas was Mary Hardin Baylor.
those fucking beasts.
72, I think 72 to 7.
Yeah.
I think 72 to 7 we lost.
I remember LT telling me that walking into a store, and I literally left the store because I could not handle being next to
Dude,
them.
oh my God. They treat us like garbage out there, man.
Oh
We'd
my
get off
God.
the airplanes and people would wait in the airport to chant stuff at us as we were getting off the planes. You know what I mean? So, like, Texas football, God bless them. Yeah, but even Texas wrestling's the same way, too. The wrestling fans in Texas are so diehard.
Yeah.
Like, they come to Booker's Place over there and just, man, you give them a clothesline, they're like, right there. It's like, yes.
Did that get you ready for after football, like for wrestling and stuff like that? Like,
What do you mean,
like those fans being assholes to you, like
It's the opposite, like, as a wrestler. They just respect you as one of their own in Texas just because you're bringing your art there. As a football player, they want you dead. They want you absolutely dead and eaten alive. But they live, eat, die, breathe, and everything football in Texas, so you can't blame them. I mean, but, yeah. Wow, thanks for that worst memory. It's absolutely horrible.
that's what I'm here for.
What position did you play?
I played the entire offensive line.
Really?
The entire offensive line. They even made me play center one game without ever having snapped the ball in my life, and I got destroyed. I didn't mess up any snaps. So, I mean, that's a big deal to me, but I got slammed every single play.
I mean, I was a fullback and then moved to offensive line when I got older.
That's gotta.
That's what happens when you get fat.
That's gotta sting. You had the ball in your hand, and then they just took it right away, huh?
Yep. Yeah, but then they used me on goal line in college like a couple times. But
Oh, so you had the fat man dream, bro. Nah. Come on, listen. If I had any chance,
it was
to
more.
touch
It
the
was
ball-
more like shit talking than anything else. It was like, you know, you have your linemen's arguing. You'd be like the one that's like, yeah, well, I still play fullback on goal line, but like I don't think I've ever got the ball. I mean, I
I
did.
got to play tight end for extra point. I took that as far as I could.
Yeah, hell yeah. You would run out for a pass even though you knew they weren't going to pass you.
I mean,
every
I
single
took
time.
like 3 steps, and I was like, yeah, nailed it. Allie, did you play any college sports?
Not in college. I played in varsity in high school, softball, cheerleading.
Oh,
Those were my two.
Good. She was really good at softball. My
14
entire our
years.
house is filled with awards.
I guess this
I'm
is
not
an
just-
Allie thing. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not,
you
I'm not
did.
exaggerating in
That's
any
Oh,
way.
that's awesome.
At least 85 trophies in my room right now. Just all her softball stuff, region championships, all this stuff, plaques with name. I don't even know.
Yeah, softball
She
was
was
definitely
nasty.
my thing before.
She just
before
played again like a
wrestling.
month ago.
Yeah, I had a high
She
school
had like a
alumni
reunion
game.
game.
That was
She
really
slaughtered
fun.
these people, dude. She's still striking these people out. I'm like, have fun. Like, play them. She's like, no, I'm going to strike them out. She struck out every girl. Like, everybody was just like, hey.
oh, so she is a competitive monster.
Oh, my God. Play a video game with her, you kick her out
Do
of
you
the
talk trash in softball at least?
No. I don't.
Oh, like
I don't talk
You
trash.
nicely strike them out. You can't nicely strike out
You
people.
don't talk trash.
In softball, I did not.
She'd come to the dugout and be like, you see that girl over there? Blah, 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 them, pointing,
Oh, Mike.
pointing. Yeah, I'm just like in my wheelchair at the time. And I'm just like looking.
Oh, he was in his wheelchair.
I was in a wheelchair.
Damn.
See? 3 weeks ago, I was in a wheelchair. 3 weeks later, I'm in a
Yeah.
wrestling ring.
I just saw him
So it
walk down
is.
some stairs. So
There you go. Hell yes.
Yes, really awesome.
Hell yes.
Mike, Allie, where can your fans find you on social media?
They can find me at Allie Recks on every single social media platform. Yeah.
I'm not as professional, apparently. I'm at The Big Orlando on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/EliteOrlando, ProWrestlingTees.com/EliteAthlete. It's the old slogan, but they have the new stuff. A lot of cool shirts. Get that from me. I'm hurt, guys. Okay, I'm hurt. Go buy some shirts. All right, it's some income for me. And
He's a big social media guy, actually. Like he's everywhere. I see you posting like at least 4 times a day.
That's one thing I'm good with. I'm grateful as all hell, and that really is because that's the key to everything, man. It's the key to just, and then it's not just where it ends. It's just the key to open the door, and then everything you have from there is on you too. But social media is a blessing and a sin.
I'm important.
You definitely are.
I'm going for my master's in social media, so.
Man, you will be awesome at it, dude. God bless. Good stuff. Master's. See, I had to get 2 degrees, fun fact, because
what are your degrees in?
Criminal justice and psychology.
Okay, criminal justice degrees. We got them too.
I had a lot of fun in college. A lot of fun. Too much fun. I'm sure Mo has told you stories. Okay. Mo had to pick me up under a bridge at 4 o'clock in the morning one time, completely naked. Because I don't even know how to explain it to you.
Maybe we'll talk about that off camera.
No, it wasn't even that kind of scenario. Like,
I wish it was a story like that.
I went to a party. It was like a frat house or something, and like, they like, I don't even know what happened. I took my shirt off to like go in the pool or something. Like they said we could all go in the pool. There was no pool. And everybody locked the door. My stuff was outside. I was in my boxers and stuff.
That's awesome.
So I only had my phone, so I had to call Mo. Long story. But I went out a lot, and I just made sure I was eligible. Every semester, just 15 credits. So intro to art, sounds good. Intro to walking, sounds good. Okay, and I just took a bunch of classes, and 3 years in, they were like, you have no degrees. Like, you're not working toward anything. So I had to go back to school for another 3 years on top of the 4 years and divvy up the credits the right way to get 2 different degrees, just to get out of there. So it took me 7, almost 8 years to get out of college.
Yikes.
Listen, I graduated college at like 27, so it's cool, man. Don't worry about
26. Yeah, see, I just finished last year. If that. Probably like last summer.
We can't wait to see the blueprint of what you have in store.
I got a big one. It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. A lot of secrets.
Upgrade.
A lot of secrets.
Upgrade. Version 1.
Upgrade.
Green Machine, Mike Orlando, Allie Recks.
Thank you,
Big
guys.
Frank, I'm Andrew. Thank you for joining us.